Money, please! My money.
A lot of people are trying to save money these days, so let's talk about 6 ways that behavioral science can help you do that. Starting with number 1, pay in cash. One of the most consistent findings in behavioral finance is that when people pay in cash, they're less likely to overspend or spend on things that they don't really need. But why is this the case? Well, it turns out that spending with cash is a lot more painful than spending with card or contactless. The money in cash feels more real. It doesn't feel like token numbers on your phone. And as a result of that, you're more mindful about the way you spend it, and you're therefore less likely to overspend. So if you want to trick yourself into spending less money, try paying in cash instead of card. The second tip is about how you should actually keep that money, which according to behavioral science is in larger notes. Due to something called the denomination effect in behavioral science, people are less likely to spend larger notes frivolously as compared to smaller notes or coins. It's something about the way that larger notes just seem like a bigger thing that you're losing when you spend it, and so you're less likely to actually do so. Another way to get yourself to spend less money is to divide up your money into more different piles or different envelopes. This works because it means that before you can make any large purchases, you have to make an extra decision. Which pile am I going to be taking the money from? This extra decision adds that little bit of friction which will bring you into a more mindful state and therefore stop you from spending recklessly. So tip number 3, split your notes into different parts. Okay, so tip number 4 is about avoiding the temptation of buying things you don't need, specifically avoiding something called the Deutero effect in behavioral science. The Deutero effect happens when you buy one thing and that one purchase leads to a chain of subsequent purchases that are all related to it. Let me give you an example. Imagine you buy a new pair of trousers that you really like the look of. But after you buy that one pair of trousers, you realize that you now need to buy a top that matches it, maybe some shoes that match that new top, and maybe a jacket to bring the whole outfit together. As a result, after buying just one pair of trousers, you've now bought 3 more items of clothing that you didn't necessarily need. That's the Deutero effect. So how do you avoid it? Well, it's actually really simple. You just buy things that work with what you already have. By doing this small mental check, you can avoid the Deutero effect and therefore avoid all of this extra temptation altogether. Okay, so tip number 5 is a really simple one, and that's just understanding the fact that eye level is buy level. Marketers, supermarkets, they understand that whatever is at eye level on the shelf is the thing that people are most likely to go for, simply because it's easy to see and reach. But if you reverse that logic, that means that the best deals for you are probably high up on the shelf or right down at the bottom. So look up, look down when you get into the supermarket, and you might find yourself some amazing deals on things that you normally buy. Okay, so tip number 6 is about being aware of add-ons. Add-ons are very powerful psychologically because we compare the price of the add-on to the main purchase that we're making, which can make large amounts of money feel small by comparison. For example, imagine you just bought a new car. The car's going to cost you £20,000 to buy, but the guy at the dealership tells you, well, you could upgrade the stitching on the seats for just another £200. Now, because you're comparing that £200 to the £20,000 that you're spending on the car, it doesn't feel like a lot of money. But at the end of the day, £200 is still £200. So how do you avoid this trap of spending a lot of money just because it feels small in relative terms? Well, the way you overcome this is by thinking about what else you could buy with that money. So rather than think about £200 for stitching on a £20,000 car, think about £200 for stitching versus, let's say, a new pair of AirPods. What's going to bring you more joy in your life? A new set of headphones or this red stitching on your car seats? If the answer is the headphones, then don't spend the money on the stitching and spend that money in a better place instead. This will help you avoid spending money on pointless add-ons and therefore help you save money in the long run. Okay, so those are 6 tips about how to save money using behavioral science. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, can you please give me a thumbs up down below because it really helps me out, and subscribe for more behavioral science content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.